Hey guys, and welcome back to The Blockheads. It's been a while since I played this game on the channel, and I'm really excited to get back to it. I've been literally begged by some of my followers to get back to it, so I decided to knock off the rust a little bit. I would make a video on how, for new players, to basically start their adventure a little bit more efficiently in the Blockheads. Now, I want to say real quick before we get started that there is a current bug with Android users where basically if you're using the Android version of the Blockheads app, as y'all saw in a previous video, I was having an issue where a black bar was blocking my inventory. But now the black bar will block either one side of the screen or the other. So either the inventory or the pause button slash my little profile picture where I have to click on my dude if I want him to go to sleep, that sort of thing. So if you're holding your phone straight upright and you flip it to the left, aka counterclockwise, it blocks the inventory. But if you're holding your phone straight up when you start the game and you flip it to the right, aka clockwise, that's how you block the pause button. So I won't see that when I'm playing my game, but I'm going to edit in the pause button and a little profile picture and a black bar so you guys can see that while this video goes. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started right in it, and I'm going to give y'all some tips on how to better utilize tools, trees, that sort of thing when starting out a brand new adventure. Oh, I also want to add that Android users also having an issue where when you start up the game, it's just a white screen, happens for about 30 seconds, but don't worry, that will pass. Just note that if you close the game out at all, the game will crash. So don't close the game out for the time being. But what you want to first start to do is create a new game, go over to create game, and go ahead and title it. I titled it Froville 8.0, as you can see here. Then pick your world size. I usually prefer ×1 size or ×4 size, depending on how big I want it. But then you just go ahead and start the game, choose survival if you want just a basic game. Custom world, you can have different settings, but not really something I prefer. Now, first thing you want to do is create your new Blockheads character. You want to give him a name. You want to see if there's any sort of randomized person that best fits your character, and if not, you can just go ahead and set him up. Sorry that he's flailing about. But I went ahead and set up my character with my classic look of the blue on blue with the brown beard and hair. It's just the way I prefer. So once you're ready, start that game up, warp him in. I went ahead and skipped the tutorial. You're more than welcome to have the tutorial going. It actually will probably help you for new players, but this is just how I play it. I like to run around and explore the area. I know it's moving as fast as lightning. Sorry, that's how I recorded it. But basically you can just run back and forth, and kind of explore your area, just kind of get a good, view of the area. Like, notice the trees. These trees where you plant the pine cones, there you can see the pine cones growing out of them. They are great for branches and wood and replanting the pine cones so that you can get more of those trees. So that's very helpful. You'll notice that in the dirt, there's some of that stone stuff. That's flint, which is very useful for building your first weapons. Now, the first thing you want to do when you start out is you want to collect branches from the trees. So aka click on some of the leaves on the trees. Go ahead and collect at least one piece of dirt. I went ahead and collected a couple, and then collect a couple pieces of flint as well. The branches are for creating baskets, which you need to expand your inventory. Bitmoji. The dirt is for creating a new workbench, and the branches are for creating tools. So first, go to your portal and click workbench. Sorry, it's going so fast. And you'll be able to craft that. The workbench is used to make the other benches. So your tool bench and your craft bench. Those are the first two very important benches that you'll need to make to start the game. The tool bench is where you create your tools, such as a shovel for digging dirt, axe for cutting down trees. The craft bench is really mainly for the baskets that you have, which control your inventory. I try to pause every now and then so that you can kind of see what's going on, but I apologize. Just rewind it if it's getting a little too convoluted. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and collect some leaves, collect some flint. Now, I will say it's probably for the best that you collect a minimal amount of sticks and flint in the very beginning, with the mindset being that it's way faster if you use the tools. So actually, I would say better to listen to what I'm saying than watch what I'm doing, do as I say, not as I do, because here I'm collecting enough flint to build tools, which is great, but unfortunately I then proceed to try to collect more leaves with just my bare hands, and it doesn't move nearly as fast as the tools do. So what I would recommend is trying to go ahead and crafting the baskets, because you need that for your inventory. Go ahead and crafting those tools so that you can move around quicker, because as you can see on the left hand side, you'll notice Caleb is not doing so happy. You can see his happiness meter is slowly depleting because unfortunately I didn't utilize my tools as properly as I should have. But I'll be able to fix that in just a minute. You can see I went ahead and canceled those actions of me clicking on the trees because I realized I didn't use my time well enough, and you see he's too tired to work. So what you want to do is place him somewhere, tell him to go to sleep, fella. It's ideal that you don't sleep outside like I did, and it's also ideal that you built tools before clicking all over the trees like an idiot again like I did. But don't worry, I realized that sooner than later. Now, what I like to do is I like to build a home underground that I can basically use as a way to get away from the elements. You can build a house out of wood or dirt or whatever you want above ground, but as long as you're out of the elements, your happiness meter will fill up because you'll have a better environment. As you can see there, I realized the error of my ways and I started crafting my tools. Hopefully you've listened to my advice and you've already started crafting your tools, because trust me, it makes it work way better. You'll also notice that since it's nighttime, Caleb can't see very well, so he's moving very slow. So I stop my actions and I meditate. Now that bar that fills up when you're meditating, if you sit there for long enough and the bar fills up enough, you'll get free items such as gems and stuff that are harder to get otherwise. Meditation speeds up the time dramatically in the game. So if you're ever stuck at nighttime or if it's bad weather, you can literally meditate, fast forward time, and it barely affects your character's mood and ability. Now, as you can see here, I've already crafted this flint spades. I crafted 2 of them because it's just easier that way starting out. I went ahead and made sure that I had the spade, that a flint machete. The machete is used for cutting branches, as you can see me doing there. Much faster. Spade for the dirt, obviously. I'm trying to collect more flint as well. That way I can go ahead and make 1 flint axe. You only need to make 1. There's no need to make more than that, because soon we'll be able to use the axe to farm for stone, and stone is much better than flint. It's not Minecraft, but it's following, that basic crafting game rules. You can see here my axe dropped. I wasn't able to pick it up because my inventory is full, because I totally forgot to craft the baskets, which is very important to start out with. You want to craft 6 baskets. What that's going to do, you're going to need branches to do that, which is why I'm going ahead and collecting all those branches. I will say as well, if you're collecting with your hands on the branches, you're only going to get 1 branch at a time. But if you collect with the machete, those are 3 branches at a time. So not only are you moving much faster, you're utilizing your tools much more effectively. I started digging in the ground near my portal because that's where I'm going to keep my home. Y'all can do whatever you want. That's just where I like it. And now I'm going to hopefully craft my basket soon. There we go. Look at that inventory space filling up. Oh yeah. See, that's much more convenient. As you can see, I had collected some pine cones from the trees. Now, these oak trees, I believe is what they are, these pine trees, they are ideal for getting wood and branches. So I went ahead and clicked on the ground so that he can go ahead and plant them, which is super useful. You never, ever, ever, ever want to use orange trees, cherry trees, apple trees, any of the fruit trees as wood and branches. It's just not utilizing it correctly. I learned the error of that from people correcting me in past videos. But as you can see here, as I'm underground, the environment is improving that bar, so it's a better environment for him. I've not made a bed yet, and it's not ideal. What I really should have done first of all is made a campfire with the branches and then bed with the wood. But as you're gonna see here, I'm gonna chop down this tree with my flint axe. Now, I started from the very top and then I left the final piece of wood totally free, that tiny little chunk at the bottom. Basically, this is the best way to earn the most wood from chopping down the tree. You earn about 3 wood for every chop going all the way down. Granted, if you wanted the most wood for your work, you'd also use the flint machete for the branches, but I'm not so worried about that because I have 61 branches. So as you can see there, it's not that big of a deal. So I made the woodwork bench. I'm going ahead and make the bed, make the campfire, and place those down in there once I expand my home a little bit. The campfire, not only does it provide better temperature where you're living, whether it's outside or indoors, but you can also make torches with it. You can burn charcoal, that sort of thing. The bed, of course, is for better sleeping. And I'm going to go ahead and make some ladders because I'm a little bougie when it comes to my house. I like to be able to climb deep down to the house, and I also like to continue a mine shaft going further down where I place my initial ladder, usually right next to my portal starting out. So that way, it's just way easier to get up and down way faster. You start to learn different mechanics and things that help your character move the quickest. That way you can go ahead and set him up and he will just rock and roll. So as you saw, may have just saw super quickly, I went ahead and made some torches with the campfire. I saw this flax plant and I went ahead and cut the top. The top is where you get the seeds. The bottom is where you get the actual flax. The flax is mainly used to make clothes, such as a sun hat to prevent you from the sun, like getting hurt in the sun in the desert. So went ahead and made some chests with the wood workbench, as well as I believe I went ahead and made a trap door. The trap door is to prevent critters from falling into my home. The chest, of course, is to hold things inside my home. So making up some basic torches, setting them up outside so that that environment is more cozy to my character at night, setting them up inside the house as well so that the trap door, even though it's blocking the sunlight, I can still enjoy the home. You saw I had to put a pickaxe there because there's a stone bit there instead of dirt. Once I get further down into the stone, of course, I will make stone tools and weapons. For right now, I'm still doing it with the flint. He's moving a bit slow because he's exhausted, but that's okay because we have our bed finally set up now, so it'll be really quick to just go ahead and rest there. I'm actually going to head and remove all the little benches from the top floor and place them down inside my home. That way, they're a bit more easily accessible in my home. I don't have to spend as much time on the surface just to, use my basic equipment. And set up some chests as well. Home is looking pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to sleep in the bed, get some rest, and then we're going to start working on our mine shaft, digging straight down. This is my favorite part of the game. There's plenty to explore, I should say, once you get down deep within the earth. Make sure that your blockhead is fed. That's another thing. Really, I should be planting some of these fruits into the ground to make sure I have plenty of fruit trees, but I don't know if you've noticed, I've had some orange trees nearby, a cherry tree, and I even have some apple trees further to the right, so I'm not too concerned about fruit at this point, but for your sake, it would be better to be planting fruit occasionally, so that once it becomes spring and summer, you'll be able to reap the benefits of actually having food, so your character doesn't slow down all the time. So as you see here, I went ahead and dug down, building my ladders, building my torches so that my character doesn't get upset. I left a spot for a trapdoor so I could go ahead and have that. That's more for aesthetic. There's really no right reason to separate the mine shaft going from your house to there. I like it when it has the dirt with the dirt, and the trapdoor will match whatever's closest. So I don't know. It's just something I like. Now I'm upgrading the tool bench here to the stone tool bench. You do need stone to do that, and it allows you to make the stone tools, which is super useful, much faster and much more durable than the flint. Right off the bat, I usually make as many stone pickaxes as I can. So here, I'm making 3 stone pickaxes. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take that first stone pickaxe. I'm going to start digging down as soon as I get it. I'm going to eat some, I want to say some worms. But yeah, gonna dig down, setting all that up. I went ahead and used my gems for the other pickaxes. Honestly, it's really easy to use the gems because you can watch ads to get more, as well as I have I have double time is what it's called, where basically everything I craft and everything I dig is twice as fast. You don't have to get that. It's very cheap. If you do get it, it's not the end of the world. I enjoy it, and I got it forever ago. And every account that I go to is the same account, like my Drew429 account. So because of that, I'm able to reap the benefits whenever I use it. But yeah, that's how you start the mine, collect some fruit, start your adventure, and you're on your way. You've got your home. You've got a very happy Blockheads character there. You've got a place to sleep, a place to dig, and plenty of area on your left and right to explore to the east and the west. So that's how you start out not Minecraft, the Blockheads. Edit that out, will you? So thanks for watching. Hope you've been enjoying. Like and comment down below. Subscribe. Tell your Blockheads friends. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye, everyone. Don't kill me in the comments, please.